Elite SEAL fitness trainers erupt in laughter. Blake, the owner, towers over Desmond, his expression pure contempt. Clean it up. That's what we pay you for. Desmond kneels, reaching for his rag. Blake steps on his fingers, grinding down with deliberate force. You're lucky we even hire your kind at this SEAL gym. Pain flares. Desmond remains silent. Know your place, or find another job. As Desmond bends to clean, his collar shifts, revealing the edge of a distinctive neck tattoo military insignia partially visible against his dark skin. The janitor's eyes flash with something lethal, leaving everyone around him suddenly speechless. Desmond Williams starts his first week at Elite SEAL Fitness, an upscale gym where membership costs more than most people's monthly rent. Chrome equipment gleams under strategic lighting. Motivational posters featuring Blake Thompson in mock military poses line the walls. The 38-year-old owner struts through his domain, designer workout gear hugging his sculpted physique. 10 years in the teams, he tells a new client, voice carrying deliberately. Things I've seen would make your nightmares seem like children's stories. 3 days earlier, Desmond sat across from Blake during his interview. The owner barely looked up from his phone, eyes flicking over the application. Janitor experience. Yes, sir, 15 years. Blake snorts. Education? I have. Doesn't matter for mopping floors. Start Monday, 6 a.m. Alicia will handle your paperwork. Now Desmond moves quietly through the gym, invisible except when needed. He removes a laminated sign with a grammatical error, replacing it with a corrected version from his cart. Did you change my sign? Blake asks later, towering over him. Yes, sir. It had an error. You're a janitor, not an editor. Blake rips down the new sign. Stay in your lane. Staff whisper when they think Desmond can't hear. Why's he talk like that? Using big words. Probably trying to sound smarter than he is. Only Alicia, Blake's girlfriend and the gym's front desk manager, shows any kindness. She brings Desmond water during his shift, her smile genuine. Blake can be intense, she says softly. Don't take it personally. In the silence of evening cleanup, Desmond's thoughts surface. This job is temporary. Necessary. His hands move efficiently, eyes noting every detail of the facility's layout and operations. Night finds him in a modest apartment across town. He unlocks a drawer, pulls out a photograph, studies it with unreadable eyes, then locks it away again. Blake tells his assistant to put Desmond on weekend cleaning. Let's see if he handles the SEAL challenge when the real operators show up. Saturday brings the monthly SEAL challenge event. Actual military personnel filter into Elite SEAL fitness, their quiet confidence a stark contrast to Blake's theatrical bravado. Back in Fallujah, Blake announces to a circle of admiring clients, my team ran extraction missions that changed the course of the war. His voice projects deliberately toward the visiting servicemen. You boys think Bud S. was tough? Try leading a squad through hostile territory when failure means death. Desmond mops nearby, absorbing every word. His expression remains neutral, but his eyes miss nothing. A young man in his 20s struggles with a weight machine, his form dangerously incorrect. The bar slips, nearly crushing his chest. Desmond moves instinctively, stepping away from his mop. Your grip should be wider, he says quietly. Thumbs wrapped. Back straight. The young man looks up gratefully, but Blake materializes between them, shoving Desmond backward. Stick to your mop, janitor. We don't need cleaning advice on fitness. Blake's palm plants firmly on Desmond's chest. These machines cost more than you make in a year. Don't touch them. Desmond steps back, eyes lowered. Safety concern, sir. I'll handle the safety. You handle the trash. Blake turns to the young man with a performative smile. Let me show you the proper form. He demonstrates incorrectly, locking his elbows at full extension. 3 minutes later, the young man cries out. The weight drops as he clutches his shoulder. Alicia witnesses everything from the front desk. Later, she finds Desmond cleaning the locker rooms. "I'm sorry about Blake," she says. "That wasn't right." Desmond continues working. "Some people value status over safety." Alicia tilts her head, studying him. "You don't talk like a janitor?" A faint smile touches his lips. "What does a janitor sound like, Miss Alicia?" She flushes, excuses herself. From his office, Blake watches their interaction through security cameras. He pulls Desmond's employment file, frowning at the minimal information. "Something's off with that guy," he tells his security head. "Too articulate, too observant." "I think our janitor is hiding something," Blake says, leaning forward. "Let's see what makes him tick." Monday morning brings unusual activity. Blake gathers staff and premium members in the main exercise area, an impromptu audience forming a semicircle. "Special demonstration today," Blake announces, clapping his hands. His eyes find Desmond, who cleans mirrors at the room's edge. "You, janitor, need your help." Desmond sets down his spray bottle, approaches cautiously. "What do you need, Mr. Thompson?" "Thought we'd try something different." Blake's smile doesn't reach his eyes. "Everyone, this is our janitor. What's your name again?" "Desmond Williams." "Right. Desmond here is going to help demonstrate fitness assessment techniques." Murmurs ripple through the gathered crowd. Desmond stands perfectly still, face unreadable. 20 burpees, old man. Show us what you've got." "I'm working my shift, sir." Blake steps closer. "This is your shift now. 20 burpees. Or is that too challenging for you?" Desmond meets his gaze. "I respectfully decline." "Respectfully?" Blake laughs. "Nothing respectful about refusing your boss. 20 burpees or clean out your locker." The room falls silent. Desmond removes his cleaning gloves, sets them aside, and assumes the starting position. His form is flawless. Each movement controlled, efficient, no wasted energy. He completes 20 burpees with even breathing, military precision in every repetition. Blake's smile falters. Not bad for a janitor. "Let's try something harder. 50 push-ups." Desmond drops and executes textbook push-ups. His age seems irrelevant as muscles move beneath his uniform. Blake's irritation grows visible with each perfect repetition. "Mountain climbers." 2 minutes. Again, Desmond performs with unexpected proficiency. Sweat beads on his forehead, but his breathing remains controlled. The audience's mood shifts. Impressed murmurs replace mocking laughter. Blake notices, his expression darkening. "Since you know so much about fitness," Blake says, voice sharp with anger, "let's see you lead these guys through a military-style drill. Play soldier for us. Show us your command voice." Something dangerous flickers in Desmond's eyes. He straightens, wipes his brow, and speaks softly. "No." "What did you say?" "I said no, sir. I'm a janitor, as you've pointed out repeatedly." Blake moves into Desmond's space. "Too uneducated to string a sentence together? Too scared to speak up?" Alicia steps forward. "Blake, this is enough. Stay out of this." Blake snaps at her before turning back to Desmond. "Well?" Desmond simply picks up his cleaning gloves, puts them back on, and returns to his abandoned supplies. "You walk away from me, you're fired!" Blake shouts after him. "You hear me? Fired!" Desmond continues walking, back straight. "You just lost the only job someone like you could get," Blake calls after him. "Good luck finding another." Desmond collects his few belongings from the supply closet. As he walks out the front door, his phone buzzes in his pocket. He checks the text message, his expression shifting subtly. As Desmond walks out, his phone buzzes with a text. "Admiral Davis confirmed for tomorrow." Operation still a go? Desmond's apartment reveals a different man than the janitor from Elite SEAL Fitness. Military strategy books line a small bookshelf. A locked cabinet stands in one corner. A framed photograph lies face down on his desk. He sits on the edge of his bed, phone in hand, thumb hovering over the screen. Decision made, he dials. "Commander Wilson, it's Williams." The voice that answers sounds crisp, official. "Report. The situation is worse than we thought. He's profiting from stolen valor and endangering civilians." Desmond's voice has transformed authoritative, precise. "Thompson has no military background whatsoever, yet he's training civilians using dangerously incorrect techniques while claiming SEAL expertise. Documentation? Videos, witness statements, falsified credentials? I've compiled everything according to protocol. And your cover?" A slight smile touches Desmond's lips. "Blown, deliberately. Thompson needed someone to humiliate today." "Understood. Proceed to Phase 2. Across town, Blake celebrates with his Inner Circle 3 trainers who form his entourage. They occupy a private room at an upscale sports bar. "Did you see his face when I fired him?" Blake laughs, raising his glass. "Thought he was so smart, correcting my signs, using big words." The trainers laugh on cue. "These people need to learn their place," Blake continues, lowering his voice. "Coming into my gym, thinking they belong." Alicia sits at the edge of the group, barely touching her drink. "He was a good worker, Blake. Never complained." "Whose side are you on?" Blake's tone shifts dangerously. He was getting too comfortable, talking to clients like he knew something. "About that," Alicia says carefully. "Some of the advice he gave that kid was correct. Your demonstration might have caused that shoulder injury." Blake dismisses her concern with a wave. "That kid was weak, not cut out for real training." "Real training? Blake, you've never actually—" "National expansion is happening next month," he interrupts, voice rising. "Elite SEAL fitness will be in 10 major cities by year's end. My brand, my techniques. Without proper certification or safety protocols?" Alicia challenges. Blake glares at her. "You worry too much. That's why I handle business and you handle the front desk." Back in his apartment, Desmond makes another call. "Director Phillips?" "Williams, I need a full background on Blake Thompson and financial records for Elite SEAL Fitness. Priority level? National security implications. Stolen valor with potential for physical harm to unwitting civilians. Timeline? 24 hours. Admiral Davis arrives tomorrow." "Understood. Be careful, Captain." Dawn finds Desmond at a nondescript military office building. He wears casual civilian clothes but carries himself differently now, back straight, shoulders squared. A young receptionist barely glances up. "Can I help you?" "I'm here to see Colonel Matthews." "Do you have an appointment?" Her tone is dismissive. Before Desmond can answer, a senior officer appears in the doorway. He immediately straightens, offering a crisp salute. "Captain Williams, sir. We weren't expecting you until 9 o'clock. The receptionist's head snaps up, eyes widening as she takes in the exchange. "We've confirmed the fraud, sir." "How do you want to proceed with the operation?" Morning light streams into Elite SEAL Fitness as Trevor, Blake's business partner, reviews the weekend's incident reports. "You fired our head janitor." Trevor runs a hand through his thinning hair. "Blake, we're already understaffed on maintenance." Blake sprawls in his office chair, scrolling through social media mentions of his gym. "He was insubordinate. Questioned my methods in front of clients." "So hire someone who doesn't question you," Trevor sighs. "But do it quickly." The locker rooms were a mess this morning. "Already on it." "Meanwhile, let's push back the equipment safety inspections another month. Those cost us $5,000 last quarter." Trevor frowns. "The insurance requires quarterly checks." "The insurance company requires paperwork," Blake corrects, "which I can produce without wasting money on actual inspections." Neither man notices Alicia hovering by the partially open door, her expression troubled. She slips away silently, pulling out her phone. Across town, Desmond sits in a coffee shop wearing business casual attire. The transformation is remarkable, from invisible janitor to commanding presence. Heads turn as he speaks with a sharp-eyed woman in a blazer. Jennifer Carson, investigative journalist. She introduces herself, offering a business card. My editor says you have quite a story. Not my story, Desmond clarifies. It's about systematic fraud endangering civilians. He slides a folder across the table. Jennifer opens it, eyebrows rising as she reviews its contents. Blake Thompson, she reads, Elite SEAL Fitness. Claims to be former Naval Special Warfare, 10 years of service, multiple combat deployments. Desmond's voice remains neutral. All fabricated. This goes beyond stolen valor, Jennifer notes, studying equipment safety records. He's putting people at risk every day. Precisely why we're involved. Back at the gym, Alicia observes Blake demonstrating a complex lift to a new client. His technique contradicts everything in the certification manuals. When the client struggles, Blake berates rather than corrects. Later, she approaches him in the office. That woman could hurt herself using that form. She'll get stronger or quit. Not my problem either way. But the liability... Alicia, you're being paranoid. Blake cuts her off. Everything's under control. After he leaves, she quickly photographs safety inspection records with clear falsification dates. A promotional email hits subscribers' inboxes. Elite SEAL Fitness proudly hosting the Regional Military Fitness Championship with special guests from Naval Special Warfare Command. Alicia sits in her car, hands trembling slightly as she composes a message. She found Desmond on social media not difficult, given his distinctive name and face. Her thumb hovers over send for several seconds before she commits. I think you were right about the safety issues. Things are worse than I realized. Can we talk? Miles away, Desmond reads her message on his phone. He considers the implications, then responds with a time and public location. Their meeting takes place in a park, neutral ground. Alicia glances over her shoulder repeatedly. Blake doesn't know I'm here, she explains. He's been acting strange since you left. More controlling, more reckless. Tell me about the safety violations, Desmond says calmly. He's falsifying inspection records, overriding capacity limits on the equipment. She hands over a flash drive. I copied what I could. Some machines haven't been serviced in over a year despite daily use. Desmond nods. You're taking a risk contacting me. People could get hurt. Her voice strengthens. Already have been hurt. You should protect yourself legally. He gives her a business card. This attorney specializes in whistleblower cases. She'll help you document everything properly. At Elite SEAL Fitness, Blake rehearses in front of a mirror. The Regional Military Fitness Championship is his biggest opportunity yet. As a former operator, he practices, adjusting his stance to appear more commanding. I brought the same discipline from the battlefield to the fitness space. He tries different variations, adding fabricated details with each repetition. During my third deployment, our unit faced impossible odds. That experience shaped my training philosophy. Trevor interrupts his monologue. The fire marshal called. We can't exceed 200 people for the event. We've already sold 300 tickets. Blake doesn't turn from the mirror. That's my point. It's a safety violation. It's a suggestion, Blake counters. They never actually check. Blake, if something goes wrong, nothing's going wrong. This event puts us on the national map. Meanwhile, Desmond meets with a group of uniformed military personnel in a conference room. Actual SEALs and officers review the evidence with expressions ranging from disgust to cold anger. He's claiming Distinguished Service Cross? One officer points to Blake's fabricated resume. That's beyond stolen valor. That's criminal. This isn't just about one man's lies, Desmond says. It's about respecting the sacrifice of those who truly served. The plan forms quickly. Each person receives specific assignments. The day of the championship arrives, with news cameras and military officials gathering outside Elite SEAL Fitness. Red carpet stretches from the parking lot to Elite SEAL Fitness's entrance. Banners proclaim Regional Military Fitness Championship, alongside Blake's smiling face in mock military dress. Inside, every surface gleams with last-minute polish. Blake adjusts his tailored blazer, wearing dog tags prominently outside his shirt. They clink as he paces backstage. Perfect turnout, he tells Trevor. Military brass, fitness influencers, local news all here to see us. Trevor nods nervously. Fire marshal's outside checking capacity. Stall him. Blake peers through the curtain at the gathering crowd. I need another 20 minutes before my welcome speech. The main gym floor has been transformed with rows of chairs facing a small stage. Equipment has been pushed against walls to maximize capacity. People continue streaming in despite the maximum occupancy signs clearly exceeded. Blake takes the microphone, confidence radiating from his practiced stance. Welcome, warriors and warriors in training. His voice booms through speakers. As someone who's lived the operator lifestyle for a decade, I created Elite SEAL Fitness to bring authentic military training to civilians. He doesn't notice several uniformed officers entering quietly at the back of the room. They stand at parade rest, watching. When my team was pinned down outside Kandahar, Blake continues, embellishing freely, we had to rely on physical excellence to survive. That's what we recreate here every day. A figure in business attire slips in through a side door Desmond, unrecognizable from his janitor persona. He nods to the military officers and takes a seat in the back row. Blake's gaze passes over him, then returns with a flicker of confusion. Today's championship represents the pinnacle of military-inspired fitness. Blake continues, momentarily distracted. We'll begin with a demonstration of authentic SEAL training techniques. Blake guides a volunteer through an exercise routine, shouting motivational phrases with military jargon sprinkled throughout. The volunteer struggles with Blake's instructions. Sir, the man says, I believe the proper technique involves protecting the lower back by... I think I know what real SEALs do, buddy, Blake interrupts loudly. I lived it. The questioning man makes eye contact with Desmond, who gives an almost imperceptible nod. Suddenly, similar challenges emerge from different points in the audience. That's not standard military form. No SEAL instructor would approve that technique. That movement could cause injury. Blake's rhythm falters. Sweat beads on his forehead despite the air conditioning. Blake, growing flustered, points at Desmond. Who let this guy in? Wasn't he the janitor I fired? The room falls silent. All eyes follow Blake's accusatory finger to where Desmond sits, composed and unruffled. The military officers at the back straighten almost imperceptibly. Desmond rises slowly from his seat. Unlike the hunched janitor who kept eyes lowered, this man stands with unmistakable authority. He walks deliberately toward the stage, each step measured and confident. You remember me, Desmond acknowledges, voice carrying effortlessly without the microphone. That's progress. Blake snorts. Security, remove this man immediately. No one moves. I asked a question, Blake repeats, voice rising. Who let the janitor in? Desmond mounts the steps to the stage as the military officers move to flank him. Their formation appears choreographed, practiced. One hands Desmond a microphone. Allow me to reintroduce myself, Desmond says, unbuttoning his collar. He pulls it aside to reveal a distinctive tattoo, the SEAL trident with additional stars marking extraordinary rank. Gasps ripple through the audience. Captain Desmond Williams, United States Navy, retired. 30 years of service, 22 with Naval Special Warfare Command. The blood drains from Blake's face. He steps backward, nearly tripping over the abandoned exercise equipment. That's impossible, he whispers. Admiral Davis, silver-haired and imposing, steps forward from the group of officers. Captain Williams commanded SEAL Team 6 for 7 years. His service record includes 4 Bronze Stars, 2 Silver Stars, and the Navy Cross. He currently consults for the Pentagon on special operations training standards. The audience erupts in murmurs. Camera phones rise throughout the crowd, capturing Blake's expression of dawning horror. "I don't understand," Blake stammers. "You were the janitor. You mopped floors." "I did," Desmond agrees. "Quite well, in fact." Admiral Davis takes the microphone. Captain Williams was alerted to this establishment by concerned veterans. His undercover assessment confirmed systemic fraud, safety violations, and stolen valor. Images appear on the presentation screen behind them. Blake's fabricated resume contrasted with official military records showing no service history. "You didn't see me," Desmond says directly to Blake, "because you chose not to. You saw a black janitor and decided that was all I could be." Blake lunges for the microphone. "This is a setup. You can't just come in here and—" "Actually, we can." Another officer steps forward with official documents. "These are cease and desist orders prohibiting elite SEAL fitness from using SEAL terminology, imagery, or claiming military training methodologies." Flashback images appear on screen. Desmond in full dress uniform receiving commendations, leading operations in combat zones, instructing at military training facilities, standing alongside presidents and generals. The contrast between those images and the janitor Blake humiliated couldn't be starker. Alicia steps forward from the crowd, clutching a folder. "I have documentation of safety violations and falsified inspection records going back 18 months. Trevor moves to Blake's side but maintains distance. "I'll cooperate fully with any investigation. I was aware of some discrepancies, but not the extent. A news crew that came to cover the championship now focuses entirely on the unfolding exposure." The reporter pushes forward with her microphone extended. "Mr. Thompson, how do you respond to these allegations?" Blake's face contorts with rage and panic. "This is my gym! My business! You can't just—" "Your business was built on lies," Desmond interrupts calmly. "Lives have been endangered. People have been injured following your fraudulent instruction." The young man who injured his shoulder weeks earlier stands up from the audience. "He's right. I tore my rotator cuff following Mr. Thompson's techniques. The janitor, Captain Williams, tried to warn me." Other clients begin standing, sharing similar stories. The momentum builds visibly, years of injuries and mistreatment finding voice. Blake's breathing grows ragged. His eyes dart around the room, finding no allies. Even his loyal trainers have stepped back, faces stunned or calculating their own exposure. "You planned this," Blake hisses at Desmond. "You infiltrated my business to destroy me." "No," Desmond corrects. "I gave you every opportunity to demonstrate integrity. You chose otherwise. Cameras capture everything." Blake's false credentials exposed on screen. Admiral Davis's official statements. Client testimonies about injuries. Alicia presenting safety violations. "This isn't personal," Desmond says, though only Blake can hear him. "It's about protecting people from fraud and injury." Blake lunges for Desmond in desperation, shouting, "You set me up!" But 2 SEALs intercept him effortlessly, restraining him mid-leap. News vans line the street outside elite SEAL fitness the following morning. Reporters deliver updates against the backdrop of the now closed facility, its entrance sealed with official notices. In a shocking development, Elite SEAL Fitness owner Blake Thompson has been exposed for falsifying military credentials, a blonde reporter states into her camera. Thompson, who built his fitness empire claiming to be a decorated Navy SEAL, never served a day in the military. Inside a downtown law office, Desmond reviews documents with Jennifer Carson, the investigative journalist. Her exclusive exposé dominates local headlines. "Stolen Valor, Fitness Mogul's Empire Built on Lies." "The story's gone national," Jennifer says, showing him notifications flooding her phone. Military organizations are issuing statements condemning Thompson's actions. "Focus on the safety violations," Desmond reminds her. Stolen valor is deplorable, but the physical danger to clients is the greater crime. Jennifer nods, adding notes to her follow-up piece. Former employees are contacting me hourly with additional allegations. This wasn't isolated. Across town, Blake paces in his attorney's office, disheveled and unshaven. His lawyer, an aging man with perpetually tired eyes, reviews the mounting legal notices. The business license is suspended pending investigation, the lawyer explains. Multiple agencies involved now: Consumer Protection, Occupational Safety, State Licensing Board. They can't just shut me down. Blake slams his fist on the desk. I built that business. On fraudulent credentials, the lawyer reminds him wearily. The military angle complicates things significantly. Falsely claiming military decorations for commercial gain violates federal law. Blake collapses into a chair. What about my other locations? The franchising deals? All frozen. The investors have invoked the moral turpitude clause. On social media, hashtag stolen valor and hashtag elite seal fraud trend nationwide. Former clients share stories of injuries sustained under Blake's dangerous instruction. Veterans groups organize protests outside the shuttered gym. Military fitness organizations distance themselves publicly from any association with elite SEAL fitness. At a coffee shop near the closed gym, Desmond meets with the staff suddenly left without employment. 20 people crowd around pushed-together tables, faces anxious. None of this is your fault, Desmond tells them. You were misled like everyone else. What happens now? Asks a young trainer. I have rent due next week. Desmond slides a folder across the table. Contact information for legitimately run fitness centers currently hiring. I've spoken with each owner personally. They understand your situation. Alicia sits quietly at the edge of the group. Will there be legal consequences for those of us who worked there? Not for employees following directions, Desmond assures her. Your whistleblower status provides additional protection. He hands her several business cards. These gym owners were particularly impressed by your qualifications. They're expecting your call. Relief washes over her face. Thank you. Meanwhile, Blake's assets freeze under court order. His social media accounts overflow with outrage he can no longer control or delete. He posts a hastily recorded video attempting damage control. There's been a misunderstanding about my background, he claims, bags visible under his eyes. While I may have misspoken about specifics of my military affiliation, the training methods at Elite SEAL Fitness remain sound and comments flood in immediately. You never served. My brother died wearing that trident you pretended to earn. Your training methods dislocated my shoulder. Lawsuit filed yesterday. I spent thousands on dangerous instruction from a fraud. See you in court. Blake deletes the video, but screen recordings spread faster than he can contain them. Trevor cooperates fully with investigators, providing internal documents and testifying about business practices. In exchange, prosecutors offer reduced penalties. Thompson insisted on cutting corners, Trevor tells investigators. He fired staff who questioned his methods, falsified maintenance records, exceeded occupancy limits regularly. The class action lawsuit grows daily as former clients join the complaint. Their attorney holds press conferences detailing injuries directly attributed to Blake's fraudulent instruction. Mr. Thompson knowingly endangered clients while profiting from his false claims of military expertise, the attorney announces. We've documented over 70 cases of preventable injuries resulting from his dangerous techniques. 3 weeks after the exposure, Desmond testifies before a business ethics committee at the state capitol. His uniform, decorated with numerous service medals, creates a stark visual contrast to the memory of the janitor Blake humiliated. This case exemplifies why we need stronger oversight in the fitness industry and harsher penalties for stolen valor, Desmond explains, his testimony broadcast on local news. Mr. Thompson exploited the public's respect for military service to avoid scrutiny of his dangerous practices. Committee members listen intently, taking notes as Desmond outlines specific regulatory changes that could prevent similar fraud. Background verification should be mandatory for any business claiming specialized military training, he continues. Additionally, safety inspections must be conducted by independent third parties, not self-reported by business owners. Blake watches the testimony on a small television in his now empty apartment, most furniture repossessed after accounts were frozen. His phone buzzes constantly with calls from creditors and former associates distancing themselves. The damage spreads beyond elite SEAL fitness. Other gyms rush to verify their trainers' credentials publicly. Military-themed fitness centers nationwide implement transparent verification systems, posting staff qualifications prominently. The industry undergoes rapid self-correction, fearful of similar exposure. Admiral Davis issues an official statement from Naval Special Warfare Command. Those who falsely claim our training and experience dishonor the sacrifices made by true service members. We commend Captain Williams for his efforts to protect both the integrity of our community and the safety of civilians. Veterans groups coordinate with fitness certification boards to create a national database verifying military credentials of fitness professionals. The authenticated service certification launches within months, allowing consumers to verify claims of military-based training expertise. Blake's reputation collapses entirely as more fabrications emerge. Former girlfriends reveal his history of stolen valor extends back 15 years. College classmates recall his early lies about secret training during semester breaks. Each new revelation deepens his disgrace. The final financial assessment freezes Blake's remaining assets to satisfy creditor claims and pending lawsuits. His lawyer delivers the news grimly. The business is completely unsalvageable, he explains. Between legal fees, settlements, and penalties, you're looking at bankruptcy. After months of proceedings, Blake sits alone in the hearing room as his lawyer negotiates with prosecutors. When Desmond enters to provide additional testimony, Blake approaches him during a recess. "My client has a proposition for you," Blake's lawyer says quietly. "A private settlement." Blake's lawyer approaches Desmond after the hearing. "My client has a proposition for you." The courthouse corridor stands empty except for Blake, his lawyer, and Desmond. Morning light streams through tall windows, creating harsh shadows across Blake's haggard face. "Captain Williams," Blake's lawyer begins, "my client is prepared to offer significant financial compensation for the unfortunate workplace incidents at elite SEAL Fitness." Desmond's expression remains neutral. "Compensation?" $300,000, Blake interjects, stepping forward. "Cash, in exchange for dropping your testimony." "You misunderstand my involvement," Desmond replies evenly. "This isn't about money. It's about integrity and public safety." Blake's lawyer clears his throat. "Perhaps we could discuss rehabilitative measures instead?" My client acknowledges certain exaggerations in his marketing. Exaggerations? Desmond's voice hardens slightly. "You falsified military service records, claimed combat decorations you never earned, and implemented dangerous training protocols that injured dozens of people." Blake's facade cracks. "Look, what do you want? To completely destroy me? You've already taken everything." "I want accountability. Nothing more." The lawyer attempts damage control. "My client is willing to make a public apology." "We're done here." Desmond turns to leave. "You think you're so righteous," Blake hisses, restraint evaporating. "You set me up from day one." Inside the hearing room, Blake's demeanor deteriorates as evidence mounts against him. Former clients testify about injuries sustained under his instruction. Medical professionals detail the dangers of his techniques. Financial experts expose how he diverted safety inspection funds to personal accounts. "Mr. Thompson," the committee chairwoman asks, "did you ever complete any certified fitness training program?" Blake shifts uncomfortably. "I developed my own methods based on—" "That's a yes or no question, Mr. Thompson." No, but... And did you claim to potential clients that you served in naval special warfare? It was marketing language. Everyone exaggerates in marketing. The chairwoman's expression hardens. Did you claim, specifically, to have earned the Distinguished Service Cross? Blake's defense crumbles visibly. His lawyer whispers urgently in his ear, but Blake pushes him away. This entire hearing is biased, Blake snaps. You're all taking his side because he's black. This is reverse discrimination. Gasps echo through the room. His lawyer buries his face in his hands. That's not what I meant, Blake backpedals instantly. I'm under a lot of stress. What I meant was... I think we've heard enough, the chairwoman interrupts. This committee unanimously recommends maximum penalties for all violations. The judgment comes swiftly. Blake's business permanently closed, substantial fines imposed, 5 years probation, mandatory community service, and a court-ordered public apology. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm as Blake exits with his lawyer. He pushes through them without comment, face twisted with humiliation. Desmond follows moments later. Unlike Blake, he stops to address the press professionally. Today's decision reinforces that honesty matters, especially when safety is at stake, he states. This case wasn't about one individual, but about upholding standards that protect everyone. Later that evening, Desmond finds Blake sitting alone in the parking garage, staring blankly at nothing. Come to gloat? Blake asks without looking up. No. Desmond remains standing. I came to make sure you understood why this happened. I get it. I lied. I'm paying for it. It wasn't just the lies, Desmond says quietly. It was the disrespect for the military, for your client's safety, for your employees' dignity. Blake finally looks up, years of fabricated confidence stripped away. I never served, he admits, voice barely audible. Not one day, but people respected me when they thought I had. Respect earned through deception isn't respect at all, says the decorated hero. Blake's laugh holds no humor. Some of us don't have natural advantages. You think my skin color was an advantage in the military? Desmond shakes his head. I didn't destroy you, Blake. Your own actions and prejudices did that. Blake has no response. Desmond walks away, leaving him alone with the ruins of his fraudulent life. As Blake leaves in disgrace, a reporter asks Desmond, "What happens to the gym now?" Those people lost their jobs because of one man's fraud. 6 months later, the building that once housed elite SEAL fitness undergoes transformation. Construction crews remove the old signage, replacing it with a sleek new logo, Authentic Service Fitness. Inside, equipment undergoes professional safety certification as trainers in new uniforms prepare for reopening. Desmond walks through the space with 2 fellow veterans, pointing out improvements. Transparent certification displays here, emergency protocols posted there, equipment maintenance logs accessible to all members. One of the veterans, a former Marine instructor, nods approvingly. Perfect balance of military precision without the stolen valor nonsense. Desmond has partnered with legitimate veterans to reinvent the facility. Unlike Blake's operation, every military-themed program now requires verification of the instructor's service record, publicly displayed alongside proper fitness credentials. We're not just fixing one gym, Desmond explains to a visiting journalist. We're establishing a certification standard that's being adopted nationwide. The Authentic Service Certification Program launches simultaneously in 12 cities. Fitness centers claiming military-style training must now submit proof of their instructors' service records and specialized training. A searchable online database allows potential clients to verify credentials before enrolling. Industry leaders recognize the market advantage of transparency. Within months, over 200 facilities apply for certification, eager to distinguish themselves from fraudulent operations. At a Veterans Support Center downtown, Desmond advises a newly formed group for victims of stolen valor. Men and women share stories of exploitation by those falsely claiming military experience. The damage extends beyond financial harm, a woman explains, her brother's photo displayed prominently. It dishonors those who actually served and sacrificed. The group channels their frustration into advocacy, successfully lobbying for legislative hearings on stronger penalties for falsifying military service for commercial gain. Back at Authentic Service Fitness, familiar faces return in new roles. Alicia, now operations manager, implements stringent safety protocols. Her clipboard contains detailed inspection schedules, each requiring 3 signatures for verification. No shortcuts, she instructs a new hire. Every check matters because every member matters. Trevor, after completing community service, works in equipment maintenance under supervision. His expertise proves valuable when properly channeled through legitimate safety procedures. Most significant is the scholarship program Desmond establishes for veterans entering the fitness industry. The initiative provides certification training, business mentorship, and startup grants, ensuring authentic voices lead military-style fitness programs. The goal isn't just preventing fraud, Desmond explains during the program's launch. It's creating opportunities for those who've actually lived the values others merely claim. Military organizations that once distanced themselves from fitness industry partnerships now actively collaborate with authentic service certified facilities. Joint training programs develop, creating legitimate career pathways for transitioning service members. The first class of scholarship recipients includes men and women from diverse service backgrounds. Their graduation ceremony attracts national attention, highlighted as a positive outcome from the elite SEAL fitness scandal. At the grand reopening, a young black man applies for a training position, visibly nervous about how he'll be received. 1 year after the scandal that rocked the fitness industry, Authentic Service thrives as a model of integrity and inclusion. The once toxic environment has transformed into a community where respect flows naturally between staff and members. Desmond visits occasionally, now primarily focused on his consulting work with military organizations and fitness certification boards. Today he walks through the busy facility, nodding approvingly at the visible changes. Equipment bears clear safety certifications. Instructors' credentials display prominently beside their stations. The atmosphere hums with purposeful energy rather than intimidation. Marcus Jefferson, the nervous young applicant from the reopening, now leads a popular strength training program. His confidence has grown immeasurably over the past year. "Captain Williams," Marcus calls, spotting Desmond. "Good to see you, sir." "Just Desmond now," he corrects with a smile. "How's the new circuit training program?" "Enrollment's up 30%. Mostly word of mouth from satisfied members. They walk together discussing program improvements. Neither notices a new receptionist watching them with confusion. Later, Desmond changes into workout clothes, intending to train during his visit. The receptionist approaches, her manner brusque. "Members only beyond this point, sir." "He's not just a member," Marcus interjects, overhearing. "This is Desmond Williams. He's the founder." The receptionist flushes. "I'm so sorry." "They didn't show me your picture during orientation." "No apology necessary," Desmond assures her. "You're doing your job." The moment becomes a teachable one, not a source of shame. The contrast with Blake's past behavior couldn't be starker. 500 miles away, Blake Thompson works the front desk at a budget motel. His name tag identifies him simply as B. Thompson. Few guests recognize him from the scandal that made national headlines a year ago. Court-mandated therapy sessions continue weekly. His therapist challenges his ingrained prejudices and helps him understand the damage caused by his fraudulent behavior. Blake watches news of Authentic Service's success on the motel's lobby television, his expression unreadable. The anchor praises the facility's transformation from scandal to industry gold standard. In a small apartment after his shift, Blake opens a letter from his lawyer. The final lawsuit has settled. His bankruptcy is complete. The page represents both an ending and a chance to begin again without deception. Back at Authentic Service, Alicia receives an industry award for her innovative safety compliance system. Standing at the podium, she acknowledges the journey. Sometimes positive change emerges from difficult circumstances, she tells the audience. I learned from Desmond Williams that seeing people, truly seeing them beyond assumptions, is the foundation of both safety and success. The system she developed has been adopted by fitness centers nationwide, preventing countless injuries through transparent accountability. Late evening finds Desmond in Admiral Davis's office, reviewing similar cases they've identified across the country. The certification program has exposed 15 major stolen valor operations in the fitness sector, the Admiral notes. Your approach worked. It wasn't about punishment, Desmond reflects. It was about correction. Will you assist with the California investigation next month? Desmond nods. Same protocol. Focus on safety and systemic change, not just individual exposure. On his final visit to Authentic Service that week, Desmond arrives in workout clothes. He trains alongside everyday members, his distinguished background known but not defining the interactions. A new member struggles with the same machine from Desmond's early confrontation with Blake. Without hesitation, Desmond offers guidance, showing proper form with patient expertise. Thank you, the member says, succeeding with the adjustment. Are you a trainer here? Just someone who believes in doing things properly, Desmond answers. He glances around the transformed space. Once a monument to fraud, now a testament to integrity. Success isn't about rank or recognition, he observes quietly. It's about creating spaces where everyone's dignity remains intact. Did you feel that surge of satisfaction when Blake's lies were exposed? That's the Beat Stories guarantee authentic tales where justice isn't just an ideal, but a reality. Like this video if you believe in the power of dignity and integrity to overcome prejudice and deception. Your support helps us share more stories where the underestimated emerge victorious. Subscribe to Beat Stories for weekly doses of moral victory that will leave you inspired. Hit that notification bell to be first in line for our next tale of justice served. Drop a comment sharing a time when you or someone you know was underestimated, and how that assumption was ultimately proven wrong. Your experiences build our community of believers in justice and moral courage. If you felt that surge of satisfaction when Desmond revealed his true identity, smash that like button right now. Nothing beats the moment when someone who was disrespected gets their perfect revenge. Did this story of the underestimated janitor leave you speechless? Hit subscribe to Beat Stories for more incredible tales of justice, where the underdog comes out on top. We deliver that satisfying feeling every single week. Turn on notifications so you never miss our newest uploads. From workplace revenge to karmic justice, we showcase the most powerful comeuppance stories that will leave you cheering. Drop a comment sharing when you or someone you know was underestimated and how they proved everyone wrong. This is Beat Stories where justice isn't just served, it's savored.
Behind every headline is a human story. At Beat Stories, we go deeper, where emotion meets evidence and drama reveals the system. If this story made you pause, reflect, or feel something, don't forget to subscribe. There's more to come.